so I don't forget. Perfect. All right. All right. I think we can get it moving. Like Heidi said, if you can put your name and your kid's grade in the chat. We just want to know who's here, want to know who is come out tonight. We want to thank you so much for joining us for our first meeting of the new school year. So thank you for joining us for ATAC, the Arlington Tech Advisory Committee. Still hitting the admit button here. Sorry, I'm trying to not be distracted. I'm going to close a few windows and get started with our little presentation, as we called it tonight. Everything you always wanted to know about Arlington Tech, but we're afraid to ask. We want to welcome you to the new school year. I hope everybody is starting to settle in with their kids and get things going. If you didn't know already, my name is Jody Alsai. I am your chair for the ATAC committee, and we will introduce everybody else in the few minutes. We'll go ahead and get started. This is our quick little agenda for the evening. Hopefully we won't keep you too long, and just wanted to cover a few basics, like we said, to really give you an intro to the school year and give you some information for the school and what's going on in Arlington Tech, and give everybody some basics, especially if you're new to the school, and all the things that are going on with our school and with our committee. First things first, we do want to welcome all of our ninth grade parents. And, if you're new to the school, some 10th grade parents also new to the school, and welcome and thank our new committee volunteers. We had a lot of great people step up this year to take on some new roles, so we want to thank you as well. Want to mention those folks right now. This is a list of a few of the folks, I'm still admitting people, who are leading our charge this year. So myself right there, Jody Alsai, our vice chair, who just piped in a few minutes ago, Heidi Gibson, and our treasurer, who you'll hear from in a few minutes because we have to approve our budget, Sam Haberlack, and our secretary is Shayna Headley. And within the committee, all of our grades have parent liaisons. So each grade gets a class rep, so to speak, and those folks are in charge of a few things. They do what we call snack attacks for the grades every couple of, maybe once or twice a year, and for each grade. And we're going to also try to get them involved with the students as well this year in lots of different ways. So they are in charge of each grade, and they help out in lots of different ways. You can see we've got great folks volunteering for that as well, and even 4 people involved with the 11th grade. So way to go. Next, we have a ton of other folks volunteering in sort of other special effort areas, lots of different folks, and not really volunteer because she actually works for the school, and we'll introduce her in a second as Dr. Van Laer. Skipping next under her is our Spirit Wear volunteer, Jean Horner. We'll talk about Spirit Wear in a few minutes. I'm still admitting people, it's just crazy. Can Shayna or can either of you see the admit button so I don't get distracted? Can anyone else see the admit button, or do I have to keep doing it? I don't know. Anyway, I'll keep doing it. Did I just lose my slides? Uh-oh.
Think you might be a couple tabs over to the left.
Did I lose everything here?
Well, if you can give any of us control of it, I can admit people if you want.
Yeah, you can make me the meeting co-host if you want, Jody, and I'll do it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to because I just lost everything. There we go. That's better. Where was I? Fundraising and teacher and student grants. We have volunteers for that as well. Your welcome meetups were planned this year by Jesse Ginther, and our community socials. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes as well. Teacher appreciation comes a little later in the year, but our volunteer for that, she plans teacher appreciation, which comes up as a full week in May, but also some staff appreciation. And our volunteer Lori, she plans the winter dance decorations and also helps out with the decorations for senior prom. ACTL, and I'm going to make sure I don't mess this one up, is the Advisory Council on Teaching and Learning. And Stephanie is our rep for that. And lastly, our rep for Grupo Hispano is listed here. So these are all of our great volunteers. We just wanted to give them a shout out and thank them for all of their hard work. And next we will hear from Dr. Van Laer. So take it away.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. So I have some pictures on the side here. If you didn't hear our first day, we had our first Flugtag contest, and it was for grades 10 through 12. So we had multi-grade groups, and they had a contest where they had to build a vehicle, and we rolled them off the roof of the building. And they got points supposedly for creativity. They had an egg in their vehicle, so if it landed and didn't break, they got points for that. And then how far they went. I'm not really sure how far the contest itself went. I think that the excitement of just rolling things off the roof was the center of it, but students worked together to create these really, really goofy vehicles. They could use anything in their backpack. I saw one that was a furry pink slipper that someone apparently brought to school that they made the vehicle out of. So what the picture that's kind of in the middle there that has the orange boxes, Mr. Nystrom was the one who dreamt this whole thing up, or one of our engineering teachers. He worked with Mr. Godfrey, the carpenter teacher, and they created this elevator so kids could put their vehicles in at the bottom. They used a drill to wind it up and wind it back down, and the elevators went up and down, and the teachers took the vehicles and rolled them off the roof. So it was very fun. They were able to get it done in our program time, which was an hour and a half. And we want to be able to do it next year. So now we're trying to figure out how we could possibly do it off the new roof. So that was our first day. So that's a little fun, but just for some information that's going on. Days that are coming up. Tomorrow is the 9th grade launch into PBL. This has been a big lift. We're really excited for the 9th graders. We're doing programming and informational activities to get them kind of acclimated to PBL and what PBL is in our school. And then they're also taking a trip over to Virginia Tech. It's a complicated schedule because we can only send 75 students over to Virginia Tech at a time. So we have the group broken in half. And while one group is over at the campus, the other group will be with us doing some programming with our juniors and talking about how to be successful in high school. And then they will swap and the kids will go over to Virginia Tech or come back and do that. So it's a good day. The kids will be in our building for lunch. So if they want to bring their lunch or buy their lunch in the cafeteria, it's all going to be the same as, any other day of having cafeteria lunch. And then they go to 5th period. So they'll be with us for 1st through 4th. And then they go back to their classes for 5th period. So we're really excited about that day. Hopefully, our hope is that it also will create another opportunity for kids to meet each other and create some bonds amongst the class of 2029. On September 18th, it's a Thursday next week. Frank DiRocco, our college and career counselor, is going to do a virtual college night. Information has come out on that on email. On September 30th is our back to school night. On October 8th is PSAT day for freshmen parents particularly. This is important. You'll see on the calendar that it's marked not as an A day, not as a B day. That is because no classes meet that day. The 10th and 11th graders come
He
into
said he wanted to have me stay on
so
the
the 10th, 11th
Lilliquan,
graders come into school and they'll
and then
PSAT
if like the
test.
rash reemerges, to go ahead and take some Benadryl. But the fact that after I took the dose of Benadryl, it went away is a good
Hi, can you
sign.
mute?
Jody, you should be
And
able to mute her
Yeah,
or
let
them.
me-
he did some
I
blood
gotta
work
find
to
them.
make sure that the white cells were still staying low. That the
So the
Yeah, got it.
okay, the and then you got to put the slides back up, Jody.
Yep.
So and there's Jody's family.
And there's my family. Hello.
So
Momentarily.
the PSAT day, Freshmen and seniors do not need to come to school. There will be no classes. If students do come to school, they'll be given independent work time in the Commons and they'll be supervised there, but we do not hold any classes on that day, October 8th, PSAT day. So it's really important if your kid comes home and says, I don't have to go to school tomorrow on October 8th, and your kid is in 9th grade or 12th grade, they are telling the truth. And then for the 10th and 11th graders, they come in for that exam and then they're able to leave early. There'll be a form that goes out to parents that you can fill out that gives them permission to leave as soon as they're done with the PSAT. And then October to December is when we start the 8th grade tours, and lots of students volunteer and help out with that. So just so you know, that's our season. We are full to the brim for space. So if you're hearing things about things being crowded or things being packed in classes being packed, we are definitely full. So we're getting ready for that move for next year, and we just have to all be patient with each other for this. And then I want to make one little comment about grade level administrators. So Mr. Maynor is the administrator for 10th and 12th grade. And Margaret, Miss Chung is the administrator for 9th and 11th grade. And Miss Bowerman is the administrator for 9th and 11th grade. They split the 9th and 11th grade. And the reason that I want to just highlight that is that some people will come to me for issues that administrators are dealing with, things like discipline or teacher supervisory. I am not in charge of those things. I can help. I'm happy to help with the communication, and then just know that the administrators are your go-to person for questions about discipline questions or supervisory questions like that. So just wanted to highlight those.
I have only $8 in my card, and then there's a take a cash.
Okay, and that is my full report. I'm happy to answer questions later. Thank you.
Sorry about all those interruptions. Little technical difficulties. I know in my household, someone wanted to know the outcome of that first day of school, whatever you called it. I can't.
I did not hear who the winners were. I was with the freshmen, so I didn't get to see who won.
What did you call it? I still can't even.
It's Flugtag. F-L-U-G.
Okay.
T-A-G. Flugtag.
What does that mean?
Fly day.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, good to know. Moving on, we want to talk a little bit about fundraising. So if you all didn't know, our organization, ATAC, is not your typical PTA organization. You all do not pay dues. You all are welcome to join us at any time. And for that very reason, we do a no sweat fundraiser every year. We don't make you sell popcorn. We don't make you sell gift wrap or do any of those crazy things that you might have had to do at a previous school. But we do still need to raise money. We have a lot of great student events, all of those celebrations we told you about, our teacher appreciation, and those all need, to have some funds raised. And so one of the ways the way we do that is through our No Sweat fundraiser. We ask for straight up donations, but the great news is we are a tax deductible organization, and you can make those donations right here through this handy dandy little QR code, which goes to any of the electronic payments that you could think of: PayPal, Apple Pay, Venmo, all of your credit cards. Or if you did still want to write a check, you could drop it off at the school, making it out to ATAC. So multiple ways to give to our organization. Our fundraising goal this year is $10,000. So we are just getting this started and just wanted to make you aware that this is going on, and we will be putting out more information as the year gets going. So that is one thing to look out for. And speaking of money, I am going to turn it over to Sam, our treasurer. She's going to talk about our budget, and we have to take a vote on said budget for the year.
All right.
Sam, take it away.
So if you're wondering where that $10,000 goes toward, awesome. If you're wondering where the $10,000 go toward, this is the budget. This is how we spend the money and what your money's gonna go towards. So, starting at the top, expenses for the year, that is looking at the ATAC overhead for our organization and to support everyone in the school. So that goes towards state taxes, nonprofit filing, PayPal, Venmo fees, insurance and domain. That's that 750. Last year we only spent 240 at that, but we are seeing a need for a few other things like, for example, right now we're on a Zoom. That's not free. We actually have to have an account for Zoom. So that we do have money that's going, expenses that are going to go toward that. We also, it says spirit wear swag closely matches revenue. So $3,000 is going to match if you look down below under revenue. It says spirit wear. We'll cover that in a minute, but basically that's 1-for-1. You buy something, it pays off the expenses that we have around buying new things to sell through Spiritware. But it's very close. We didn't make what you buy when you buy something through the Spiritware activities that we have, t-shirts or anything like that, cups. Just know that it's pretty much at cost. We're not making a lot of money in that area. So looking at the next one is teacher appreciation. It says revenue, sorry about that. But that's teacher appreciation gift cards, and it also matches the revenue, that 3,500. Sorry that got cut off right there. But that one also is donations. If you donate later, we'll put information out at the end of the year. Oh,
Sorry.
year we're going to put information out about donating money directly toward teacher appreciation gift cards for specific teachers in that organization and as a whole. And it is going to go almost directly, almost all of that. If you look in the middle, it says proposed 2025, but then if you look next to it, it says actual 24, 25 last year, and you'll see how it matches last year's data points and money. So, but the point that I wanted to make the most is that middle section underneath teacher staff appreciation meals and gifts, that entire section there, 1,000 for teacher grants, 3,000 for club grants, $500 for student activities for dances, $3,000 for specific grade specific socials. The ninth graders get 1,000, the 10th graders get 1,000, the 11th graders get $1,000 specifically to pay for their activities. All that, the senior activities as well, all of that is coming out of the donations that we get. So the money that comes toward that you donate toward ATAC with that awesome little QR code that she had last time, this is what we're spending it on. And we did have a balance at the very top in yellow. It shows a balance of $6,752. That was a residual balance from last year, money that was not spent. So if you looking down through this, our total expenses this year, planned expenses is $22,000. Now, if our fundraising gets over our goal of $10,000, which last year our fundraising came up to $11,756, for example, if we are able to have more than 10,000, then that just helps us with that rollover for next year, which is at the bottom. And that revenue part is everything we are expecting and our goals. Last year we went well above those goals. If you see actual 2024, 2025 under revenue, we were able to get 11,756 for fundraising. Spiritware, so we sold $4,421, for example. And then teacher appreciation, we had so many donations for teacher appreciation. So this as a whole is the budget that we are proposing at this time to be able to roll forward and our goals and how we're gonna support you all this year and all the children from ninth grader all the way to 12th and all the teachers. So with that, can I have a motion to accept this proposed budget? Is it time for that? Can we do that
Yep.
right now?
Yes.
Motion to accept the proposed budget.
Thank you. All those in
Aye.
favor? At least one eye. Give me one eye.
Aye.
Anybody have a problem with this budget? Okay, awesome. Okay, and just so you
Fantastic.
are aware, if we do find an issue with the budget, if we're going over or whatnot, and we have to change this budget at all, it will come to another monthly board meeting. We did do that last year where we had a bit of a shift in a couple of the areas where we had to plus up. For example, the scholarships, senior prom and trips last year, we had an extra $2,000 spent toward that. We were able to do that and made that decision at one of these meetings. So any changes to this proposed budget will come up at one of these meetings and it will be another vote. So you as participants calling in, I love that there's 51 people, 60
Amazing.
people.
Yeah.
This is how you vote. This is how you get information about what we're doing, how your money, your hard-earned money is being spent and how we are turning around and giving that back directly back to the school. All of us are volunteers, so be gentle on us as well. Be gentle with your volunteers. There's so many volunteers
Yep.
come into
And our slide driving capabilities tonight. Good grief. Yeah.
on us, please, please, please. We're all parents just like you, and we're doing our best to make sure that all of our children have a fantastic, fantastic year. And
Thank you, Sam. And she will give us an update on this budget every single month. A screenshot, a little similar to this. It will not have all of last year's stuff on it every month, but we will get an update every single month from Sam as to where we are within all of these different goals and how we're doing. So, you can come in every month if you'd like to get an update on how we're doing and where we're spending all of our money. So look forward to that. Thank you so much, Sam. This is the area that I always rely heavily on a good treasurer to lead us down that path. Thank you so much. Another great area, something that our organization does so well, is teacher and student grants. Our two volunteers, they couldn't be here tonight, so I'm going to talk a little bit about it. So last year we awarded 17 grants to students who lead clubs and activities, and we also gave out 6 grants to teachers for their wish list so that they didn't have to pay for different classroom needs out of pockets. And if we look back on that budget, there's those allotments that Sam talked about. And those applications are based on that set budget allotment on a rolling basis until all of that line item budget is spent. The applications are taken in by these two volunteers, Jennifer and Christy, and voted on by the 4 members of the ATAC board, myself, the treasurer, the secretary, and the vice chair. And those monies are given to the teachers and the students to fund different things for either the clubs or for the teacher wish lists. So the process is pretty simple. The students, they apply by a Google form. Those go out through Canvas. We get the word out through the Student Activities Fair. There are flyers put out in the school, and Dr. Van Laer makes, lots of announcements, gets the word out to the students. We make sure that it's the students that are applying, not the teachers, so that it really gives them kind of a cool, valuable skill, learning the grants application process, something that they could use later in life. And just the same, the teachers are applying via a Google form that Dr. Van Laer sends out to the teachers themselves. All of the grant recipients turn in the receipts for whatever they've spent their money on toward the end of the year. And again, that ATAC board reviews those receipts for reimbursement. So we just wanted to kind of call your attention to this process. If your student is talking about joining a club, starting a club perhaps, they need funding for some sort of idea that needs seed money, this is a great way to do it. One example last year was the student literary magazine. We gave them seed money to start up their website. So they already had their magazine. It was an existing club, but they needed seed money to get a better website off the ground. So different ideas like that, something that the club needs to just get going, something that they need to further something in their club. And likewise for teachers, it could be some sort of a program that they want to start or some extra books or software, something that they wanted to use in their classroom. So it's a really great program that ATAC uses and helps out all the students and the teachers. We did talk about spirit wear. It is coming. Probably we'll have it going by back to school night. We'll have a website up. We're going to have some new items, some old favorites like the quarter zip that everybody loved last year that sold out. That's pictured here. So stay tuned. It is coming. Wanted to call your attention to that. And like we said on the budget, it's not a fundraiser. We're not trying to make tons of money on it. We will be stocking a few items so that we have items at the school, both to sell in person at events at the school, like parent socials. And we want to try to have a few items on hand for students who can't afford items. So we will have a way, hopefully, for parents to sponsor items so that they can donate some money for a student who maybe can't afford a $40 sweatshirt, but a student would still be able to get a sweatshirt if they came and applied in the office to purchase some merch at maybe a discount or, for free. So stay tuned for all that information. That'll be coming out soon. Wanted to let you know about the upcoming events, the first of which is our parent social, just coming up on Monday, and it's in the commons at school. So please, attend if you can. It's a great way to meet other parents and socialize. It's just a social, just to meet and mingle, be at the school. And then, of course, some of these other dates coming up, back to school night, of course, a couple of TBD events there. Just wanted to call your attention. Girls in Coding. I don't know if Dr. Van Laer, you could talk about that one a little bit. You still here?
Sorry about that. Yes. I couldn't get the button time.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
Yeah, so Girls in Coding, we put this on the calendar because there are about 3 events this year that we're doing for middle schoolers. And the first one is Girls in Coding, but nothing has been locked down in terms of date yet. In the past, it's led by a group of girls that we have that have gone through the computer science program with Jeff. And last year it was called Python Girls. So it's going to be open to all middle school girls, but we haven't put anything on the calendar yet. And the girls the students do a lot of work to plan that out.
Great. November 20th will be our second parent social. We will combine it with our meeting. So we'll skip the Zoom meeting in November and do an in-parent social / ATAC meeting. So cover some quick business and also do a social. We're going to do it out at Reed in Ballston Quarter and do a little bit of a philanthropic event. So stay tuned for that. And in December is Techtastic for the new parents. The best way to describe Techtastic is also it's a philanthropic kind of event that the kids do in school. You're donating canned goods, and then the kids are building these unbelievable artistic works of creation out of the canned food, and then the canned food is donated to AFAC, if I'm correct. Did I speak to that correctly, Dr. Van Laer?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yep.
So the kids will learn more about that in school, and you will probably just be challenged to clean out your cupboards with canned goods and donation materials. So a few things to look forward to. Wanted to leave a little bit of time to open up the floor for questions. If folks had any, things that they wanted to know about the school, other questions that you had going on for either ATAC, Dr. Van Laer as well, feel free to come off of mute or, raise your hand in the chat and, let us know if you have any questions. Pull up the chat. See if
Somebody's asking, how can we contact the parent liaison for our grade?
Great question. I will stop. Shit, I need to get back to the slides. Hold on. There's a couple ways to do that. We can send out their emails. They are mostly using personal emails, so it's kind of a tricky thing that we don't want to widely publicize their emails, but there are also grade level WhatsApp groups. Depending on your grade, we can put that out there as well. And we can share the emails as well for each parent level liaison. And thank you for whoever is reading the questions, because I can't see the screens and share slides at the same time.
Someone's asking, where will that information be shared?
We'll figure out the best way to do that, and I will let you know. I could probably share it in these slides at the end of these slides as well. We couldn't fit them all on the slide, so I can probably share them on this post at the end of these slides. And we're gonna, Dr. Van Laer sends out these slides after the meeting is over, so we can do that.
Yeah, Jody, and I think we have the email addresses like class of 2027.
We
or
haven't
class of-
activated those this year.
Okay.
The,
All right,
the
never
reps,
mind.
the reps
Ignore
decided
me.
the reps decided they didn't want to have to check a different email address. They just wanted to use their personal emails. But at the same time, we don't want to publish personal emails all over every website in the world. So it was kind of a tricky balance.
Well, and
So,
I would offer, and I can put this in the chat, as a vice chair, if you're specifically interested, you can email me and we can also follow up that way. So
there you go.
mine and
And for the 9th grade, we're gonna get a WhatsApp together and
Yeah.
working with Jody on that.
Yep. And 10th grade already has one, 11th grade has one, and pretty sure 12th grade should have one. So if you're looking for information on how to get on those WhatsApp, also contact Heidi and we can get you that info.
Jody, and I'm happy just to introduce myself. I'm Laura Simpson, 11th grade parent. There are several 11th grade liaisons, so we're
Go
like a little
11th grade.
team. But I'm happy just to introduce myself and to have people know who I am. I know Heidi has my email. I don't know the system you all are interested in for doing for contacts. I am not the best at like daily checking emails. I'm a little slow on some of that stuff, but just so everybody knows.
I think Miranda was going to be the main contact for the 11th because we had to sort of decide among the four of you, there had to be one person. So Miranda's going to be the
I'm
Miranda,
here
you're
too.
on, right? Yeah, there you
And
are.
I saw Zoe, your email, or excuse me, your message about how to contact the 11th grade liaison, and I can reach out to you. I'm one of 4, but I'd agreed to be like the belly button for contacts. And also we do have the WhatsApp group, which I think, Zoe, you might be on there. I'm not sure. I'll check. We've got about 30 on there now. But yeah, happy to talk. I'm glad you reached out and nice to see everyone. Thanks.
And I'm the 9th grade liaison, or one of the 9th grade liaisons. There's 2 of us.
Yeah, so you can put your
And
email
I'm
out there.
fantastic on text, as Jody knows. Getting better on email.
So I just want to take a second and Kelly McCarthy gave you a thanks, and I want to jump in and thank you as well. So thank you to everyone who has put effort in already in the beginning of the year, getting ATAC up and running and getting these plans going. ATAC is a big part of Arlington Tech's success, and we really we know how much time this takes. And so I just want to say thank you at the beginning of the year, and we'll continue to thank you throughout the year. So thank you for our first meeting.
You're quite welcome. Any other questions?
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Is there a goal or like, I'm a new parent, 9th grader, so I'm just taking all the information in. As far as the like parent socials and some of those things, what is the cadence of that? It seems like it's maybe every other month, and regrettably, every single date that has been thrown out since I've been here, I have a conflict. Like, I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to miss next to school night. I'm going to miss like the Monday I'm gone. I'll not be here on the 20th of November. So like, and if we can get those dates out a little bit ahead of time, that would be fantastic. I don't know if other parents have like work schedules that sometimes require them to be out of town. Like, I'm like literally going one place in October and going a billion places in September and November.
Yeah, the parent socials we're trying to do, I think, about twice a semester, which we're calling, the fall here until winter break. So we're doing the one in September there and the one in November, and pretty much that would be it until, because anything after November, Thanksgiving, you're going to be losing people until Christmas. Back to school night is part of APS, so that's, out of our control on the calendar there. The Zoom meetings are all scheduled. We're going to have that schedule put up at the end of this meeting here. So those are already all on the books. So then we'll have a couple more in the parent socials in the spring, probably 2 more parent socials in the spring in terms of in-person parent activities. And Meredith, I don't know if she got on the call or not. There were so many people, I was hitting the admit button so many times. She's trying to do a mix of parent just socializing, just meet and greet, sit around talking, standing around socializing, and also some of these sort of giving back, philanthropic, actually activity doing something socials this year to kind of mix it up. So, a couple of different ideas.
So let me just say really quick, one good way to get a future event to be on a night that works for your schedule is to volunteer with our organization. Help just and it doesn't have to be hours and hours of planning, but just to be on on the committee that helps on that particular night, or a few weeks coming up to that night, and just last minute volunteering. That is one fantastic way. Parent of a 9th grader, also parent of a Virginia Tech, child at Virginia Tech. She graduated from Arlington Tech in 2024. Volunteering, even if I didn't have a lot of time, which I don't, is a fantastic way to make sure that you can come to a few different events because you're there for the planning purposes. Just a little bit. I promise there's so many of us that it doesn't, the idea is that none of us, except maybe Jody, none of us are taking too much time out of our day. Jody is like ridiculous how many hours she spends on for all of it.
Even I goof from now and again. I realized I goofed on something for Monday, and that's on me. That obviously I will be at the thing on Monday that I had to move something else, but it happens. We all have schedules. It happens. It happens. Any other questions? All righty. I'm going to turn it over to Heidi, who's going to actually talk a little bit more about other upcoming meetings.
Yeah, so we're super excited. It is, I want to just say again, I've said in the chat, it's great to see so many people here tonight. We hope you'll continue with this enthusiasm throughout the year. One of the things we're really focused on is building a community of parents at Arlington Tech, of families at Arlington Tech, as well as that incredible community of students that Dr. Van Laer is building with all of our kids. So our next meeting, we're going to have Mr. Duraco in talking to us. He's a fantastic member of staff at Arlington Tech, and he's going to be talking about college and career prep. So he's going to kind of give us a bit of an overview of what you should be thinking about, different ages. If you've gone through this process, you know that it is quite a process. If you're the parent of a 9th grader, you may just beginning to be waking up to like, oh, this is coming down the pike. So it's starting to think forward about what that's going to look like. We'll talk about sort of timelines, some of the resources. Arlington's got a lot of resources. You will have seen in some of those slides that, there are things happening. There's the virtual, college fair. There's all sorts of other things. So I think it can be really helpful sort of early on in the process to kind of know what's coming in a couple years. And for, people like 11th graders or even 12th grade parents, like, you're in the thick of it. We're also hoping to have a bit of a panel discussion. So I would, encourage you to kind of think about your burning questions and bring them to that meeting so that we can have a little bit of a conversation. And B, if you are a parent who has gone through this and you have some wisdom to share, and I know many of you have some wisdom to share, please think about sharing it with us. You can either plop your name in the chat right now and I will like put you on a list, or next slide, please, Jody. I've put together a form. Now this form is actually a form mostly about what meeting topics we want to do this year. But also on that form is space for you to say, I can come and volunteer my ideas about the best way to navigate the college career transition after school. But even if you're not ready to do that, we would love your thoughts on what you want these meetings about this year, because this is really to be for you, what you want to talk about, what you think is important. So you can use the QR code, you can use that form I just threw in the chat. It's the same, it leads you to the same place. And just, there's a few different topics that I've thought of and Jody's thought of. And please, put down what you're interested in, but also, like, if you have any other ideas, I love good ideas. So please share them with us. We are so excited to, sort of build community with you this year, and we want to do it in the way that's most effective for you. So with that, I'm all done.
Yeah. Thank you, Heidi. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
either one of us.
Heidi I'll finish it. Since I'm here.
Heidi has great ideas, and they're gonna take up
So-
some of these great Zooms that we've got coming up. So yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we've got this fantastic Zoom coming up October 9th. Put it in your calendar right now. And then, as Jody was mentioning, we have this really amazing parent social November 20th, which I know Venus won't make, which is sad, but hopefully many of you will be able to be there. We'll do just a little bit of meeting and a lot of socializing and getting to know each other. And then we're back on Zoom. And so all of our meetings are sort of like the second Thursday of the month. And some of them will be on Zoom and some of them are going to be in person. Like if they're near a parent social time, we may just move it over to the person. So we haven't put Zoom here for all of them, but
Right.
we are
these are the second Thursdays unless otherwise noted. Like that's
correct.
November 20th there is not the second Thursday. It's slotted in. We swapped it out. So if we switch it up, we'll let you all know. We'll cancel the Zoom meeting and throw in person and just do a little bit of business while we're all standing there socializing. So
absolutely
look out.
But
look
I would
out for that.
encourage all of you to put these in your calendar now. I know I did that last year and it really helped me because I'm not a person that's going to think on the second Thursday of the month, oh, it must be ATAC. And
Yeah,
I
no.
don't always pay attention to my parent square the way I should. Sorry, Dr. Fendler. But so put them in your calendar right now, and then we will be happy to see you and hang out with you.
Yeah. So that is all we have. Again, if there's any other questions, we can hang out for a little bit or feel free again to email us. I can put those emails back up here again. Please, feel free to message us to find again those emails for your parent liaisons. If you had any questions for us or for your parent reps, please let us know. Here's our emails. You can always reach out to myself. If you have any questions that you didn't bring up tonight, we're happy to answer, if you think of something later. So feel free to reach out. And otherwise, that is all we have for this evening. Thank you again so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. And so great to have such a wonderful turnout for the first evening. Thank you so much.
Thanks all. Good night.
Have a great night.
And thank you guys for putting all the slides together and everything. It was really great. Appreciate all your work on that.
Thank Mus. Awesome helper, Shayna. She did most of the work.
That's the truth.
That is the truth.
I went to get some graphics and I realized that I don't have like an